All right, everybody, 20 minutes with Bridget. It's August 27th, 2020, because I'm doing double videos because it's kind of like about the similar theme. So, mind-blowing. So if you haven't watched my last video, which I put up before this one, there's new scientific data and information that's coming out that your bones secrete hormones. I forget the name of um, the exact name of the new kind of a hormone that they're calling it. Maybe it's in the article. We'll look at the article. And I found this out in my class because this is just recent information that's just coming out through studies that they've found that when you're under stress and or fear, your bones secrete hormones, making your situation a lot worse, right, into your body. So your bones now are kind of moving into kind of considered glandular processes like your endocrine system, right? Releasing, stress hormones. It's really mind blowing that, and, the number one thing that I do is traditional osteopath, structural medicine. And osteo word is about the bone. Um, though we deal with the bone, we deal with joints, fluid sacs, lymphatics, synovial, um, you know, lesions, whether they're tissue or water or, all these different kinds of components, right? But osteo is, the focus on the bone, but we do kind of everything. I mean, traditional people that do, or traditional osteopaths, we do some pretty amazing things for the body and with the body. Sometimes it even blows my mind at like how amazing it is to be an osteopath, to be able to work with people mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, and with all the aspects of their being, starting from the frame, right? The framework, the framework and the foundation, right, of the structure. And that indicates like how every other system is going to work in the body and the relationships, right? So just kind of mind blowing. So let's go ahead and we'll just take a look at the screen share. Well, let me get over here. And I just kind of wanted to share this. But yeah, so this is Cell. I'm not going to put this out as a link. I don't want to do a whole blog for just one link, but cell.com, cell metabol bullet metabolism. You can look that up. Mediation of the acute stress response by the skeleton. All right. So this is just stress. This isn't like, damage to, the skeleton, but this is just stress. So let's see, let's do a summary. Let me get to the whole summary. It's kind of a tricky little thing here. Okay, we hypothesize that bone evolved in part to enhance the ability of bony vertebrates to escape danger in the wild. In support of this notion, we show here that a bone-derived signal is necessary to develop an acute stress response, ASR. Indeed, exposure to various types of stresses in mice, rats, rodents, and humans lead to a rapid and selective surge of circulating bioactivity. Oh, here it is. This is the hormone, osteocalcin. That's the hormone that they are seeing that the bones secrete in fear and high stress. Because stressors favor the uptake of osteoblasts of glutamate. So they're also talking about different types of amino acids, right? So that would be in the amino acid category, which prevents inactivation of osteocalcin prior to its secretion. Osteocalcin permits manifestations of let me see if I can find the whole word, acute stress response, ASR, to unfold by signaling in a post-synaptic parasympathetic neurons to inhibit their activity, thereby leaving the sympathetic tone unopposed. Like wild animals, adrenal ectomized rodents and adrenal insufficient patients can develop ASR. So now you can see how like things like adrenochrome, which you highly do not recommend, it's, you know, how they get it is just unbelievable. But it has been given out by doctors and it has been on the market for a long time. And it's really horrible how they derive human and even other endocrine um, drugs. But you could see how no matter how stressed out the person would get, if they were taking like adrenal type chrome, they wouldn't have stress, which means that they wouldn't age and their systems wouldn't be firing and stop, because we live in a system that everything is pretty scary and terrifying or busy, right? And too active. So just the fact that we're living our life is aging us more rapidly, and creating, you know, high volumes of stress, because we're living lives of high stress that humans shouldn't be living these kind of lives. Nature shouldn't be involved in these kind of lives. Animals shouldn't be involved in these kind of high stress lifestyles. Okay, it's just not healthy. Okay, like wild type animals, adrenal ectomized rodents and adrenal insufficient patients can develop ASR. Let me just see if I can get this. Oh, there we go. And genetic studies suggest that this is due to their high circulating osteocalcin levels, right? Which is the hormone that the bones are putting out during high stress. So we could say that, you know, that's maybe the old way to view it, that is that the calcium is being released from the bones for the body to cool its acid state down, because, you know, if you have really high stress and you're eating a lot of acid foods, your body is going to go into acid states. And the number one priority for the body is to stop the acid state, because if the blood goes too acid, the heart will stop. If the blood goes too alkaline, the heart will stop. But it's rare in our lifestyle that we would actually have too high alkalinity, like almost impossible, not with the types of lives we're living. So then, you know, the calcium would be leached out of our bones because we don't have enough calcium uptake in our systems. And this is why we have osteopenia and osteoporosis and a lot of these other, you know, bone problems that are going on. And so we're taking it one level higher to, it's also secreting a hormone, trying to deal with, you know, the high amounts of stress. We propose that osteocalcin defines a bony vertebrae specific endocrine mediation of the ASR. So, bony vertebrae specific endocrine mediation. So basically they're calling the bony vertebrae, bones, part of the endocrine system, right? So let's go and look at the little, let's go look at the little thingy. Looks kind of like a vertebrae, doesn't it? Okay, so this is like the fear factor. So the bones are detecting the fear or high stress, and then it goes into releasing the osteocalcin, which turns off the parasympathetic tone, which turns off your nervous system. So high stress would stop you from actually reacting. You wouldn't run and you wouldn't fight because you don't have the nerve pulsation to do it. You would just freeze. Dissidence. is a word that comes to me. So your brain won't be firing, none of your muscles won't be firing, nothing will be firing. You can't think, you can't feel, you can't move, right? So there you go. This is why so many people have post-traumatic stress disorder, because of high events of stress, and obviously their bones are turning off the nervous system using the hormone, and so this is where people just check out, or stroke out, or lose attention, right? Because they are turned off. Okay, anyway, I just kind of wanted to, sorry it took me longer to read that, but I just wanted to actually just put that out there, because this is some really important really important stuff, and they have some amazing, just amazing other articles, right? So this was kind of a discussion we had in the last class that I took last weekend for several days, and I just kind of wanted to share it to you, because if you allow yourself to live a really stressful lifestyle, and a lot of people are like, I watch people, and what they would watch, and people that watch a lot of war, guns, or um fighting, and like a lot of these shows and movies, it's like constant stress. I think to myself, like the hero or whatever, the main person, like, how much could you possibly go through every day? It's a train wreck event every day. And people are addicted to getting that into their system, because they're addicted to stress hormones. They're addicted to their parasympathetic nerve system. So think about this. If you're intaking that through your eyes and your emotional field, your bones are going to pick up on that. And it's like, it's turning off your parasympathetic nervous system. So no wonder you sit in front of the TV and then, chew on your fingers and suck your thumb and, whatever else that you're doing, because your bones, through that stress that's coming in from the outside world, because, your bones are like, not going to be like, hey, oh, it's only TB, but your body's, your eyes, and you're sweating, and you're moving around, like, your body is responding to it as if it's a real event. So do yourself a favor. The whole system is coming down. What do you want your life to be when it comes back together? So just some key things here. I want to live a more peaceful existence. I mean, okay, so what would I do? I want to live a more peaceful existence. I don't want to be pressured to work harder and faster and less amount of hours for less money. So I want to be free, and I want to be at peace, and I want to be going at my own pace, and I want to be able to sleep and rest deeply when I need to. I want to be able to go into nature a lot. I want to be able to be around people in peaceful and calm interactions. I want to be able to pet my dog and do the kind of work that I love to do, helping people in their parasympathetic nervous systems and their nerves and their joints and all of these other things that are going on in their systems. I want to continue to help people with their post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to grow food. I want to fix the earth. I want to heal the soil. And these are things that, that I'm focusing in on now. I'm not focusing in on the whole system's going to collapse, the banks are going to close, and all of this other stuff. I'm liquidating now, so that that I'm not going to have to really freak out during this period, and that I can just, watch it in a calm, peaceful way. First video talked about this, knowing that it's the end of that cycle. And I don't know what the next cycle is going to look like, but in the midst of it all, I'm staying grounded, I'm staying calm, I'm getting rest, I'm not getting dragged into the stress, the fear, whether it's on, stuff that I'm seeing or feeling, whether it's real or not real, just trying to really focus in on what I want, not what I don't want, what I want and what I want in the future, right? So that I can effortlessly step into that no matter what it looks like in the outside world. Even if the outside world is completely on fire, everything's burned down, the banks are closed, you can't get any money, you can't get food. You have to, like this says, like, you can't allow your bones to secrete that hormone to shut down your parasympathetic nervous system, because then you cannot properly respond to the events that are happening. You can't properly think and you can't properly respond. Okay, so I just wanted to put this out there. And thanks for listening. Bridgette Lynn Dolgoff, 20 Minutes with Bridgette. Have a great week. What do you want? Start focusing on that now and reduce the stress, because the stress is going to get far more intense. So you've got to actively reduce the stress. Otherwise, your bones are going to be shutting down your parasympathetic nervous system, and it's going to render you completely useless on all levels. All right, everybody, have a great day, and have a great day. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully I can keep the 20 minutes with Bridgette going, but for sure I've got some other classes in the works, so they'll definitely be getting on Patreon. So blessings, stay grounded and focused. And what do you want? Move towards that. Reduce the stress. Take the weight off your bones. Take the weight off your bones. All right, everybody, have a great week. Bye-bye.